Welcome to the Phoenix Prosperity Podcast, where wealth meets legacy. Join your host, Tim Fergestad, as we explore the journeys of Phoenix's finest to success and beyond.
Hello, this is Tim Fergestad. Thank you for joining us. I'm very pleased to have Rick Hall with me here today. Dr. Rick Hall is CEO and co-owner of My Personal Multivitamin, the manufacturer of K-Free Daily Multivitamin without vitamin K. He is the director and professor of business and leadership at Colorado Christian University and emeritus clinical professor of health entrepreneurship and innovation at ASU, where he spent the past 5 years co-managing the Mayo Clinic and Arizona State University MedTech Accelerator. Very cool. Thank you, Rick. Welcome to the show.
Great to be here. Thank you.
All right, there's a lot of neat stuff there. How did you? Let's real quick talk about how you got started in the space.
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, I've always been kind of an entrepreneur on the side, as well as being an ASU professor at Arizona State. Kind of like had two separate worlds, like this entrepreneurial world where starting up businesses and running businesses. I used to be in the restaurant business, had a multi-unit franchise here in Phoenix in multiple cities. And then I was an ASU professor, and they were kind of not the same. They were two different worlds. And then when President Crow came around at ASU, like kind of created this structure at ASU that supported and valued entrepreneurship and innovation, it gave me the opportunity to kind of blend those worlds. And so I started creating entrepreneurship classes in health specifically, and my background's in nutrition. And so I was teaching nutrition entrepreneurship, and then I moved into the College of Nursing and became the director of health entrepreneurship and innovation.
Nice.
Started a lab on the downtown campus to specifically help students, faculty, staff, and community members start health-related companies and solutions to real-world problems. And so it really just became very uniquely fitting to me that I was now at a university that really supported and valued and encouraged entrepreneurship. So I've helped multiple students and faculty and community members with their own businesses, as well as developing my businesses while also being able to teach courses.
Nice. Okay. And so that's all very cool. So what's sort of a quick snapshot of your business right now?
Sure. So I have a my
Seems
personal,
like you wear a few hats still, but you have the main.
I do, yeah. So I'm first of all, I transitioned out of ASU. I was there for 22 years. So I was emeritus faculty now, and now I'm the director of the MBA program and the Masters of Organizational Leadership for Colorado Christian University online. So I could do that here from Arizona, but I have students from all over the world in those programs. So, but the hat, my entrepreneurship hat, is that I still own a multivitamin company. So it's My Personal Multivitamin is a company, and K-Free Daily is the product. So it's a multivitamin without vitamin K. Very simple, nothing extraordinary about the multivitamin. Most multivitamins that you see in the market have vitamin K in it.
Right.
And vitamin K helps your blood to clot. And some people have blood clotting problems where they may be on blood thinners, or they're told,
Statins,
hey, right. And so they might be told by their nurse, their dietitian or their doctor, hey, just don't take extra vitamin K. Well, then they want a multivitamin, and most vitamins have, or most multivitamins have K. Ours does not. So as a result, we create it, and we produce it, and we ship it all over the world. People are requesting this product from all over. We sell it on Amazon, on Walmart, and also our own website, kfreedaily.com.
Okay. Nice. I know I'm a nerd, so I know a little bit about this stuff. One of my friends, actually, I have some of my investors are in the space actually, and one of my friends was on the podcast earlier. He has a vitamin or a supplement company as well, and I think I don't remember, we were just talking, not on the episode, but about, I think he takes K2 periodically, but I know that's a problem. I mean, you're right, statins and other stuff for some people is kind of an issue. There's 3 K vitamins, right? You're just referring to any of them?
Yeah, and we just take out all of them, because if you go to the hospital and you're bleeding, one of the things they could do to help slow down the bleeding or help your blood to clot is give you vitamin K. That's what its function is in the body. And so some people are, whether it's for a blood conditioning like factor V laden, or whether it's maybe they have heart disease and they're on blood thinners because they just had, cardiac surgery.
Right.
A lot of their doctors will tell them, you're going to put them on a blood thinner for either a short time period, or for some people for life.
Right.
And
So they're
so
prone to getting clots and throwing an emboli or something. And
that's right. So, and for your listening audience, it's good to clot outside of your body, not inside of your body.
right,
And
right.
so when your blood clots inside of your body, that can cause problems. And so it can, if that clot gets into your lungs, it can actually kill you. So it's really important for some people to monitor or keep their vitamin K levels stable. And for others, it's not a concern. But for those who it is a concern for, we're a very niche product that people, when they find it, thank us. I mean, they're like,
Nice.
they're very grateful
Awesome.
for it.
So there's not a lot of competition within that. It's a
very little. You go into most grocery stores or drugstores and look for a multivitamin, you'll find K in almost all of them. And so when people do find it, they're very grateful. But we only sell it online.
Okay. Well, that's pretty problematic, right? Trying to keep that on shelves and stocked in so many places when it's a bit of a niche product.
It is, and we're still relatively small company, so we're not, positioned yet, distribution wise to put it out into those stores. And I don't know if it's so niche-y that I don't know if there's enough need for it to be in every GNC and in every grocery store. So, but there's certainly enough people that make it worth our while. That's for sure.
Okay, excellent. So, how'd that start, by the way?
That's an interesting story.
There's got to be a story, right?
It's a great story. First of all, I have factor V Leiden, and which means I'm 300% more likely to have a blood clot than someone who doesn't. Okay. I used to train for Ironman triathlons. I've done 6 of them, and I was training for my 7th. I had a bike crash. I broke my hip and my clavicle, and I was told by the ER that my hip was cracked, but I would not need surgery. I just need to sit still. If you just go home and sit still for 8 weeks, your hip will heal. What they didn't tell me was that if you sit still for 8 weeks, especially after being very active, you could also get blood clots. And on top of that, I had factor V Leiden, which I didn't know at the time. I got blood clots. I did have a DVT and deep vein thrombosis, and I did actually. I found out a week later when my calves were really hurting, and I went back to the hospital. They actually admitted me, and I was put on warfarin. So, and I did actually throw a couple clots into my lungs, so it could have killed me. All that to say, I love entrepreneurial stories of people who have personal stories. It could be themselves, or it could be their family members or something. But I didn't create the product. It was actually created by a student of mine and a nutrition student of mine and her husband, who's a pharmacist. She's a dietitian. At Mayo Clinic. He's a pharmacist. They created the product. They got it healthy and profitable, and they just didn't want to do it anymore. They just weren't interested in this part of it.
But that's the network, everybody coming together to
completely true.
Provide value. And that's great.
I would typically reach out to her every 3 to 6 months and just say, how's the business going? I'm just curious. I love it when my students are successful. And she said, it's great, but we don't want to do it anymore. I said, what are you going to do with it? She said, I'm just going to stop doing it. So why don't you sell it?
Down. Right.
And so I asked them for a profit and loss statement, and I made them an offer, and we bought the company. And that was probably 10 years ago. It was
nice. Very cool.
Yeah. That's so great. It's grown ever since then. It's done really well since then. It was doing well then, but they didn't want to do it. So.
Okay. Excellent. The extremities, the calves in particular. Every time I think about this every time I fly in airplanes, right? And every time I'm crossing, the Atlantic or something, I'm like, they should stop drink service and let everybody get up once an hour and do laps.
Especially
knowing what we know now, right?
Yeah, exactly. Especially for those long distance flights. And I do that regularly. If I'm flying to California for an hour, I don't do it. But if I'm flying a 6-hour flight or a 16-hour flight, I'm walking around the whole time as much as I can. And there are certain calf, exercises.
Even with compression socks or something.
Yeah, or compression socks. I also take, prophylactically, I take, blood thinners to make sure that if I'm traveling long distance, that I'm not likely to clot. But there are a lot of people who will experience clots because of a long distance flight, because of sitting for long time periods. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a no-brainer. I think nothing makes me want to take up jogging like a long flight.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. You don't have to look too hard. If you just Google, athletes with blood clots. You'll see so many people that have either their careers ended early, or in some cases they've died, and celebrities, and women who are pregnant. I mean, it's really devastating, blood clots. So there needs to be a lot of awareness brought up about what blood clots are. They're often dismissed as cramping, and they're often dismissed as you just need rest, or you need to rub it out or whatnot. And that's what I thought too. So yeah, and there's a lot of people who have blood clotting conditions that don't know it and won't find out until they have a blood clot. And for some people, that one time they find out is the worst time, because it's too late.
Okay. Let me ask you this question. What's one of the biggest challenges you've had to overcome in this space? Maybe not even in this space, just in general, right?
Yeah.
On your path to success.
Well, I do help a lot of entrepreneurs in Phoenix, that not just my own company, but I think a lot of one of the positive things about Phoenix is it's very collaborative in nature.
Yep.
And everyone who comes here from other states will tell you that, like, this is like a really great state to do business in. All the cities and the economic development organizations are very interested in helping entrepreneurs. That's a great thing.
Right.
One thing we're lacking is probably compared to other growing entrepreneurial ecosystems is our funding opportunities, for capital for a lot of small entrepreneurs who are looking to get investment. And of course, some of that's cyclical and goes up and down. But generally speaking, I don't think entrepreneurs typically go, let's go to Phoenix to fundraise. That's just not a thing that you do. I mean, there are people who come here for other reasons, and there's people who come here that need to fundraise. But we definitely need to probably, one of the struggles I have as helping entrepreneurs is helping them to find funding opportunities. And so it's growing, the ecosystem is, and it's getting better. But that's probably historically one of the struggles that we've had here in the city, in the state.
Okay. And so it sounds like things are going well for you, right? You've done a lot of great stuff. What are your plans for the future, right? How are you, some people on the show, we talk about creating passive income and, dialing back their time so they can go on retirement and do nothing anymore, which always bothers me. I mean, I don't think that we're meant to just sit and do nothing.
No, it sounds terribly fun, and it's terribly depressing to not do anything. So it'd
be good for a week.
And that's exactly how it was for me. It was about a week, and I was like, I need to go do something. So technically I could retire now, and early retirement. Some people love it, but for me, it's just not enough. And, the data is pretty clear that for some people, it actually reduces your lifespan when you stop working. So it's really important, I think, for people to stay active. Whether you're looking to start a business or keep in business or help others or volunteer somewhere, you got to just stay busy. But I'm still, like I said, I'm a full-time director. I teach MBA program in the MOL program at Colorado Christian. I continue to mentor startups. I mean, just this week I talked to some startups from Europe. I still work with the Mayo Clinic and ASU MedTech Accelerator as the managing partner there from the ASU side. So we bring in companies internationally that are in the MedTech space and continue to foster their growth. Our goal for those companies coming in is to give them mentorship and expertise and subject matter experts, both from Mayo Clinic and ASU, to help them get their product to market in the United States. We have internal United States companies that come in, even Arizona-based companies, but we also have international companies that really need a lot of help with that. And so, and that program continues to expand. We've been doing it since 2019. And that program each year gets bigger and better, and more ecosystem partners are a part of that. Our partners include the Arizona Commerce Authority, the Greater Phoenix Economic Council, the City of Phoenix, the City of Scottsdale, Google. I mean, there's a lot of partners. And so when you talked earlier about networking, I think that's critically important. And I think the networks that we've been able to establish have shown that if we all get together and help one another, that we can all be successful. And so I don't see any of that slowing down for not just me, but for the ecosystem. And I'm actually afraid to retire because, frankly, I don't want all this to happen without me. I mean, I would be sad for me to watch all these, programs and development in Arizona and not be a part of it. I live right down the street from the microchip factory and the TSMC, and I just see I see so much potential and growth in Arizona that I want to be a part of it.
Right. Yeah, a lot of exciting times. What anything in like the 12-month horizon that you're excited about in particular?
Let's see, 12 months. I mean, I think what we're going to see with Mayo Clinic and ASU is there's this ASU is developing. Again, I'm emeritus faculty there, but I stay involved as an emeritus faculty, and so we're building a medical school. NAU is also building a medical school. When I moved to Arizona in 1985, there was like one medical school in Arizona. It was like U of A in Tucson.
Yep.
Now in the Valley, there's 5 or 6 of them. This year, ASU said they were going to launch a medical school. NAU said
their campus before was an ancillary site for Tucson, right? The medical school here they originally started.
That's U of A's medical school, and so U of A has 2 medical schools now, one in Tucson and one in Phoenix at the downtown campus, and then the NAU is going to launch one as well. But ASU's is very interesting because it's all of the students who come out of that program are going to also become engineers. So ASU is the first university in the world, as far as I know, to develop a medical school that trains their doctors to also become engineers. And so they're looking at really the future of medicine. Like, what does the future of medicine look like? Well, it's got technologies involved in it. It's got AI, it's got AR, it's got data analytics. It's more than just traditional medicine. And so that's pretty exciting because under that umbrella of ASU Health also includes a brand new public health technology college. And so that is also very exciting for the next 12 months, We're here in the local ecosystem, so I think you're going to see Arizona continue to evolve in medical technology and in growth for these areas. And it's going to be, I think, exciting over the next year for that as well.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff. Thank you. I didn't know that NAU was starting their own medical school.
Yeah, if they announced it probably a week after ASU announced theirs. There's going to be more community-faced. And then there's also a local privately owned DO school that's going to be launching in Phoenix, and that's the Valley College of Medicine, and that's probably going to be in North Phoenix as well. So we got North Phoenix, downtown Phoenix, Northern Arizona, and so I think you're going to see there's a need for additional healthcare practitioners in Arizona. You're going to see that continue to grow.
Okay, excellent. All right. Well, thank you, Rick, for your time today and sharing these insights and tips. If somebody wants to connect with you, what should they do?
Yeah, I mean, you can email me. So probably the easiest way is my personal email, rihall@hotmail.com. Our website is kfreedaily.com. And then, of course, you can find me at CCU or at ASU as well.
Okay, excellent. And just to clarify, it's K-Free, not K3, because I was talking about there's 3 Ks.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you. K-Free Daily. Yeah. It's free of K. Kfreedaily.com. Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, Rick, for joining me today. We appreciate you sharing your insights and success and impact here in Phoenix.
Thank you.
Inspired by our guests? Visit phoenixprosperitypodcast.com/guest and join us on the show and share your success story with Tim. The spotlight awaits.